anything you need for Halloween. This is Haunted School, and welcome back to another video on my channel today, guys. And in this video I am going to be going over my Halloween 2022 haunt plan, as it says in the title. And yeah, basically I went through all the planning stages of my haunt so far, and obviously first what comes to mind is thinking of a name for the haunt itself. The past couple of years I've had names such as Frightsville, The Resurrection, The Occult, Night of the Undead and Skull Manor these past couple of years. So this year I thought of doing something that's a bit more unique to my haunt itself, and it just a general thought that came to mind was the name of my house that's engraved on the pillars is Touchwood. Then it just came to my mind, just thinking through some names, why don't I just call it Touchwood Hollows, which is a really good name, and it's something, and it is one I will stick to probably as long as I do haunts. Before we take a deep dive into this video, let's just have a quick overview of goods and bads of last year's haunts, and because I haven't really went over that as of yet. So with the best things, we managed to get everything up on time. I started around the start of October. All of the theming was up within the first 2 weeks, and yeah, I was really satisfied with most of the themes. There's things I think I could have did a bit better, such as making it look a bit less cluttered and just not having to use pretty much everything I've got. I think there'll be things that I don't use this year, which you'll see in the haunt plan in a minute. And the best thing out of this, we managed to do it for charity. We managed to do it for RSPCA, which I'm really happy about. And we also got a newspaper article done on it locally, which I really couldn't be happy with. This was the first time we managed to get it done. I'll put it up on screen now for you guys to have a look at. But basically it's just a few pictures, a bit of a read up with some context there and some pictures. It's pretty cool, so yeah. Final thing to say is that one of the things which I know affected not just me but pretty much everyone is the weather. The weather last year was absolutely horrible, and especially just on Halloween itself, it was just really bad. Everything was blowing about, and I'll insert some pictures of how it actually was. The inflatables were blowing. There was one point where the archway that we had over the front door nearly went over the next door neighbour's fence, which wasn't funny, which wasn't the best thing to see at all. But yeah, I really do hope the weather will be better this year, and I think what I'm actually going to do to make up for that will be to do the haunt for the entire week, where some nights, if it's a calm night, I'll put the animatronics outside, and others, if it's just horrible, it'll just be probably inflatables and lights, but that's my way to work around that. So yeah, so without any further ado, let's take a deep dive into the haunt plan for this year. So here is a look at the full indoor haunt. As you can see, I'm going for 3 themes in particular for indoors, which is the Haunted Mansion, the Laboratory and the Creepy Carnival. The reason I'm going for 3 themes this year is because I just want to make each room dedicated to a theme, pretty much, rather than just doing like 7 themes and just being a few small sections and not really going into a lot. It'd just be really cool to go for something really dedicated indoors, and just give the overall creepy feel, to make the entire room, you know, feel sort of like you're in a different place, rather than just having little bits dedicated to different things. So I guess the best part is to start with the hallway. The hallway this year is currently being getting done up. So it'll be a lot different to how it was last year. It won't be seen setted all out or everything, because obviously it's still waiting to be done up. This year I'm going to go and incorporate that with the theme that I'm doing in the living room, which is the Haunted Mansion. And in there we're going to have the Costco 7-foot butler, and just generally probably just cobwebs hanging from the ceiling and some nice lighting. It's always a good thing to do, just to make it generally creepy without just going all making it just entirely look like a different room, because obviously we do want to keep it nice without having too much use of sellotape or hitting nails in the wall. So as we move on up here, we have In this room we have got two themes. It is the laboratory and the creepy carnival. So I guess to start off with the carnival, the smallest theme in this room, this one I guess is in an area that's a bit more closed off, so I'll be putting something in front of that so you can kind of just go through and see what's in there. We'll be having stuff like the scene setter, which I used last year, the carnival scene setter. We'll also be having Towering Clown and the Gemmy Zoltan Fortune Teller. I guess just a few other bits in there, probably some orange lighting behind them as well to add the cool effects. And onto the laboratory. As some of you may know, I did a section dedicated to the laboratory in my haunt last year. It looked really nice, and it's possibly my favourite theme I've ever done. But this time I'm going to do an entire room dedicated to this. It's going to look really cool. I do believe I do have enough stuff now to pull this off. We're going to have a table with a corpse bag on yet again, probably some lab jars and beakers. I'll think of making some, I guess, with some lights in and everything, and obviously in Dr. Shivers and Brain Monster, they'll be in there, and possibly Face Ripper as well. I guess he sort of might fit in with the theming, but I'll have to think about that. This one I really cannot wait to do, because I'm going to also do this room lit up like I've never done another room before. I'm going to be putting some of these strip lights around the ceiling and have them in blue, so it'll illuminate the room up really nice and it'll feel like a real spooky laboratory, I guess you can say. And last but not least, we have the theme I always sort of go for every year, because it is sort of the traditional Halloween theme, I feel, and that is the Haunted Mansion theme. And I always go for this one every year because a lot of my props do sort of fit into this genre without separating them into different themes. Things in this one be such as Count Vigor, Costco Werewolf, probably the Jemmy Butler as well. I know Heads Up Harry's in here, but I'm debating whether to put him in the laboratory theme. And as we get towards the back, we have props such as the Newly Deads, the Looming Phantom, and Creepy Rising Doll. So places that will be lit up in this room will be included, like the archway, probably the wall opposite to the Creepy Carnival, and also the front and back windows, as they always have a good lighting effect. And probably the fireplace as well, because that really was a big feature of our display last year. It should look a bit different as the living room's getting a bit decorated up as well in the coming months, so you'll have to stay tuned for that, how it will look in the haunt builds. This part to add on to the indoor display is upstairs. We don't really do entirely much upstairs, it's mainly just lights in each window, as you can see. I think one year we tried in the bigger bedroom to put a projector in there, but with our house having kind of older style windows, we've got like these white frames that go across the window. It doesn't look entirely the nicest, but I think with the perfect projector, if I shell out for one, I think we can definitely make that work. The only prop you can really see here on the landing is a Jemmy Jason Voorhees, which I'll probably be having in there, maybe do a bit of a, I guess, Friday the 13th theme, because people will probably see him when we open the front door and let the trick-or-treaters, do their stuff. Moving on to the front yard, this year the front yard is going to be pretty much the main theme, because I'm not sure if I'll be doing it as a walkthrough haunt this year. But this is the entire plan, what I'll be doing. A lot will be going outside, as you can see, in terms of animatronics and lighting, and probably I'll put some fog machines out there as well. As you can see, I'll be calling it the Dead Bones Cemetery, and as you can see, it does look pretty cool as it stands, my plan. And as you can see at either side of the I guess you can say drive, because this will be done on my entire drive. It is done on it's basically all sloped, I guess you can say, so you can't really stand any big animatronics or maybe inflatables in the middle of it, otherwise it will affect the stability, I guess, especially if a big gust of wind blows on them. Work with that, all of my the big animatronics I'll be putting outside will be stood against the house just so they don't fall over. Things that will be going there be at least probably 4 floodlights. I know I've only put 2 in the picture, but probably 4 will be okay for the entire house. It'll light everything up well. We'll be having stuff such as the Costco Pumpkins, the Seasonal Visions Gravedigger, Peekaboo Penny, and I'm debating whether to put this on top of the garage or at the further down the garage, and that is the Range 2022 inflatable ghost with tombstone. That is one inflatable in particular I'm really interested in buying. It does look really cool, and I really hope to buy it if it's in stores this year. If that isn't right at the garage, I'll be putting probably the Costco Wailing Phantom there as well, because it looked good. And as you can see next to the doorway, I'll probably be having, I might have the archway up, the Range archway from last year, but it really depends if it's windy or not, because as I said, it nearly blew over the fence. But actually, right at the other side of the door, this will be a new prop that I'm hoping to get this year. It's one I've had my eye on ever since it was announced, and it is the Seasonal Visions Jack Stalker prop, and boy, I really love the look of this prop. It would just be so perfect to have it right next to my door, greeting all the guests, and it's really massive as well. It's something that'll really stand out even from looking at the house from down the street. I really do hope to get this prop, and but I'll be making my final decision once I guess everything else has been announced, because I know this is something I want for certain, but £500 is quite a hefty price to have one life-size prop. Main part, which is why it's called a cemetery. I'll explain these parts now. So everything really is as you see it, but with it not really being to scale, it will be a lot more space than it actually looks like. The only two things I'm really in need of for doing all this are the two new groundbreakers, which are the Pumpkin and the Gnome Groundbreaker, which are obviously new for this year. These hopefully, I'm quite a collector of Groundbreakers, and they're just perfect props for graveyard themes. These are two props that are totally on my list for this year. In terms of the bushes at either side, you can probably expect it to be similar to last year. We'll be putting orange lights on one bush and green lights on the other. Both ones that run on mains, because obviously batteries lights that run on batteries do run out very quickly. So just doing it from at Christmas as well with lights that run on mains, it really saves the hassle of having to replace batteries every night. That said, that wraps up my Halloween 2022 haunt plan, which has now came to the name of Touchwood Hollows. I really cannot wait to do this haunt. This, fingers crossed, will be the best one yet, with it being on an entire week. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me some of your plans for your haunts as well. I'd really like to hear about them, and if you have any suggestions that I could do for my haunt, feel free to also tell me that as well. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and also subscribe to my channel for more Halloween content this year. And until the next video, this is your guide for all things spooky.